All right, welcome back to the channel. This has been a requested video from a good subscriber of mine about Errol Spence Jr. and the new trainer for Errol Spence Jr. Word on the street is that there is somebody being considered. I do have quotations and information from him that we're going to cover in this video, but look, it looks like that Errol Spence Jr. may have a new trainer. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. In this video, we're going to talk about some word out on the street about Errol Spence Jr.'s new trainer and how his new trainer very well may be Stephen Breadman Edwards. There was a news article that came out, and I was asked about this in a live stream, so I needed to make sure that I did my research and knew where this was coming from. Stephen Breadman Edwards is in the mix to become Errol Spence Jr.'s new trainer. This came from an article from Ring Magazine, and it basically says the man who will guide the final few chapters of Errol Spence Jr. could be Steve Breadman Edwards. Edwards had an interview with Mill City Boxing. Shout out to Mill City Boxing. He says nothing is decided. We're just cool. That's it. He was in Philly on some business and he just worked out at the gym, but Errol hasn't told me who he's picking as a trainer. We just worked out together for a couple days. I'm not saying I wouldn't train him. I'm not saying he isn't possibly considering me, but he hasn't made the choice yet. It's the little things that we can tweak. But he's already a tremendous fighter. The number one thing I think I can do for him is build up his self-esteem. He said, that's my guy. I like Errol. I wish him the best. I'm never going to be mad if he picks somebody else. One little note that they put in his training expense would bring even more fanfare to Edwards. It would also fatten his bank account considerably, but it isn't about that for Edwards. Having known Spence for years, there are no selfish motives attached to him. So if Spence opts to go in another direction, the love will remain the same. Good article by Hans Thimenstode on for Ring Magazine. This article came out about 20 days ago, so that's probably where a lot of the conversation started. Let me assure you that I'm not going to complain if it's Breadman Edwards. My personal opinion was to look for a style, somebody that's used to training a style that is close to what Errol Spence Jr. already does. And a fighter from Philly, a trainer from Philly, I think really could add a lot to his camp because that is a similar style to the way that Errol fights now. Now, I'm not saying that Errol, because I know I'm going to get, the skill set police coming out here getting mad at me for saying, hey, there's a lot of Philadelphia fighters they are aggressive, but they're defensively sound at the same time as being aggressive. If you look at guys like Bernard Hopkins Bernard Hopkins, Joe Frazier, guys like that. Philly has that reputation of being some people that are going to go for you. They're going to go for that knockout. So if Breadman Edwards, who's been in that area, who's from Philadelphia, I do believe he's from Philadelphia. I know he trains out of Philadelphia, can help him out and get him into a position where he can probably be a little more defensively sound inside. When he's fighting inside the pocket, uses his jab a little bit more to get inside the pocket against a guy like Terrence Crawford. Who knows if any of that would work. But for real, love the fact that he's considering Breadman Edwards. One guy that I thought he should consider is guys like Robert Garcia, who is fighting. I don't think he's in Oxnard anymore, but the trainer of Mikey Garcia has trained a lot of top-notch fighters because those Mexican fighters, they also are aggressive. They are also trying to push the guy back, fight on the front foot. Fight on the front foot just like Errol Spence Jr. likes to do. But anyway it goes, look, I'm going to be paying my pay-per-view money or my subscription for whatever network Errol Spence Jr. fights on. I do think, just like Breadman Edwards says, I do think he's a really nice guy, a real cool dude, and somebody that I want to see do, a lot better. Now, on a related note, we do have a big fight coming up this weekend. 2 big fights coming up this weekend. One is David Morrell versus David Benavidez, and that is a fight that I'm telling you, I'm really surprised that fight is being made. I thought it was going to be a couple more years before they made that, but seeing as they both have had problems getting to fight the big name fighter in that division, well, in the 168-pound division when they were both in the 168-pound division. Now they're both in 175, but neither one of them were going to be able to land that fight with Canelo Alvarez. So they say, hey, why not fight each other? I think that the odds are going to be in favor of David Benavidez. They should be in the favor of David Benavidez. David Benavidez is a pro, is much more experienced, having fought guys like Caleb Plant, having fought what's my guy's name? The Dog, in that terrific fight that they had. But you understand that he is, the more experienced person is David Benavidez. But man, my dark horse is David Morrell. The reason that I think David Morrell will do particularly well is that jab. David Morrell can stick that jab to the body, stick that jab, and make that jab land on a regular basis. I think David Morrell will have the power to hold back David Benavidez or hit David Benavidez with some stuff he don't want to get hit with. I think that David Benavidez definitely is going to come forward and is going to try to slug with him. But I don't know, man. I think I might have to go with David Morrell. But anyway, that would just be, man, my just general feeling about the fight. Everything else, the experience, the level, the being a 2-time champion at 168, the experience is just so leveled up for David Benavidez. It's hard not to pick him. So not going to make a pick for the fight, just going to enjoy the fight and may the best man win. What I'm hoping for is a real great battle between the two where people say, man, we got to see that again. Both fighters come out all the better for it. This fight is not too much different than one of my favorite fights that not a lot of people talk about was the Roy Jones Jr. one versus Bernard Hopkins. That was a fight that kind of took place kind of like this one is before neither one of them had a championship, and they were both young and up and coming prospects that everybody really thought, really could be it. So Bernard Hopkins lost to Roy Jones Jr. Roy Jones Jr. went on about doing the rest, climbing weight classes, doing all that. Meanwhile, Bernard Hopkins stayed right where he was and became the stalwart in that 160-pound division. So we don't have to have a fight where somebody loses this fight. That's not necessary. Lose it in the sense of this guy goes away forever. Because with American fighters, it's one and you're done. You get at least in the eye of the public or in the mouths of the public that are always trying to push this deal that he lost, but he lost. Who did this guy fight? But he beat that guy. Yeah, but that guy lost to that guy. And he's not that good. He lost. Meanwhile, you got Canelo Alvarez with how many losses Canelo Alvarez has? 3? Something like that? Who did he lose? 2 or 3? 2 losses for sure. Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Dimitri Bivol. But when he loses, he doesn't disappear. Manny Pacquiao lost. Manny Pacquiao didn't disappear. It's just funny how only certain people disappear when they lose. Well, hopefully that will not be the case for either David Benavidez or David Morrell, nor this great undercard fight that they have there, which is going to be Steve Fulton Jr. and Brandon Figueroa. That's going to be a great fight. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.